Hey, and a good, let's see, Monday evening here on this Thanksgiving week. Meteorologist Chris Smith here, along with meteorologist Dan Nyman, who is in studio this evening on what is been a pretty nice Monday. A little bit more cloud cover and a little more humid if you've been outside.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like we're getting close to Thanksgiving, just a couple days away, and probably could go for a early May feel outside. It's the humidity really that's cranked up here, and that's one of the main reasons that we've been talking all day on social media about the chance of rain returning. Good news for everybody. Also a chance for some strong storms, though, something we will have to watch as we get into tomorrow evening overnight.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see it being a big rain producer. On the high end, a half inch, but I think probably a quarter of an inch or less. And there may be some folks that don't see much of anything. But nonetheless, we'll take what we can get. We can't complain too much about it, I suppose. As take a gander outside right now. Look at that. Dew point of 70 already over into Destin at Harbor Walk Village there, all lit up for the holiday season. Meanwhile, as you look at southeast winds at 10 miles an hour, as you look over Panama City Beach, a lot of folks out there dining this evening, enjoying themselves. Dew point of 68 degrees there, south-southeast wind at 10 miles per hour. And as we talk about what's happening over into Panama City, dew point of 68, south-southeast wind there. Notice along the water there, along the bay, things pretty calm though with that south to southeast wind. It's relatively sheltered. We have actually seen a couple isolated showers. Look at this, my friends up in Jackson County getting a brief spritz of rainfall. A little spritz of rainfall just to the west of Alpha, crossing over the Calhoun and Jackson County lines. But these are just very isolated showers out in front of what will eventually be our cold front, which is going to be out here to the west. So between now and when this arrives overnight tomorrow night, there will be a few showers around, but I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot of activity. But this is what's going on this evening. That box right there is a tornado watch that's in effect for parts of Texas and on into Louisiana. You see some pretty good showers and thunderstorms there. Some severe weather over the past 24 hours. We're watching these storms make their way from the west towards the east, and they'll continue to move across Louisiana in particular and make their way through the overnight hours tonight. Showers extending up as far north as the Ohio River Valley, stretching through northern parts of Arkansas and on into Kansas City. Meanwhile, as we look out over into parts of the deep south, we have severe weather risk extending from Texas, Louisiana into Mississippi. That is for today into the overnight hours. Then tomorrow across our region, slight risk of severe weather, say from not too far from Jackson up through Birmingham, including the Montgomery area. Underneath this darker green, which is a marginal risk of severe weather, which is about a 5% chance. When you look at the threat of hail, that's about a 5% chance. When we say 5%, that's within 25 miles of where you are. There is a 5% chance that we could see 1-inch hail in diameter. Or, meanwhile, you could also be talking about tornadoes. Our tornado threat is about a 2% chance within 25 miles. And also damaging wind is about 5% chance within 25 miles. So this isn't a big event, but there will be a risk of severe weather. Temperatures right now currently into the 60s and 70s. Look at the dew point temperatures. They briefly dropped down into the 50s last night, and then surge of moisture already back well up into the 60s and 70s this evening. Winds are blowing. You see that southeasterly wind coming in. Fairly calm inland, most of us about 5 to 10 miles per hour. One thing that we'll have to watch about overnight tonight will be the possibility of some dense fog developing in a few locations during the overnight hours. You'll see our future clouds and radar again throughout the day on Tuesday. Fairly quiet conditions. You might see an isolated shower or two, but as we move through the overnight hours, we'll see a line of showers and thunderstorms develop, but it may be a broken line moving through. Again, we're talking during the overnight hours, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, racing east through 7 o'clock in the morning, and then exiting our area with sunshine returning as we head into Wednesday. Patchy fog will be a possibility overnight tonight. Temperature is going to be staying in the 60s. Low temperatures during the overnight hours will stay 60s, maybe even 70 for some of the beaches, with more On the showers and thunderstorms, as well as some of the pictures that we got today, we go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, of course, we'll always be excited about showing you some photos, 2 different types of photos coming in for the next month or so, because Chris Smith's lights soon to get underway. And then, of course, the sunsets still not disappointing. They almost rarely do here across the Panhandle. We did have a few more clouds out there today, and it's a similar story as you get into tomorrow morning. Just a mix of sun and clouds as the sun rises, and then eventually you'll see here that continued onslaught of onshore winds out of the south will help us to not only find some of those white cotton balls in the sky, it will continue to feel humid as a result of that. Watch towards the west, though. We'll see slowly some showers and thunderstorms starting to ride on towards us, and it could be a long wait unless you're back west towards Pensacola or even into places like Mobile before you see those showers coming out of the Gulf become a little bit more prevalent for us. Might not be until tomorrow evening before even a few light showers return. As far as photos from across the area, here's one from our friend Richard Millett here of the sun setting over North Bay right there. You see it diving down over the water. And of course, it was a pretty nice one today across the area as well. Here's Kathy at the Cove. Another video coming in here, Chris, as we've got...
That was David. That's my bad.
Oh, it's David Wesley, David Neal. Got a lot of Davids that we're getting photos from these days. That's the sun peeking through the cirrus clouds out there. And of course, we saw that help.
There's the picture. I got his name right on the picture.
We're working on it here. We've got some folks in the chat as well. We are bringing back Chris Smith's lights. It's on panhandleweather.com/Chris-Smith-lights, I believe. You can send your photos there. But David Neal sending in some photos. Charlie as well, that sunset in Calhoun County, one of my favorite places to drive through here in Northwest Florida. And then Nancy, of course, sending in this photo. You've got the boat, you've got the sun just starting to fall behind some of that marine layer and the low clouds out over the Gulf. Picture perfect, as we always seem to find it here in across the area. You can submit your photos too, not just sunset pictures, but again, Chris Smith's lights getting going here just after Thanksgiving. I believe Chris will really dive into that. Just be sure to download the Panhandle Weather app on the iOS or Google Play Store. Scroll down on the homepage, you'll find the spot to submit the photos there pretty easily. And then, of course, we're already getting some photos in here. Here's one of our Chris Smith's lights photos. A really well done house that's certainly showing me off over in Springfield. And Chris, I have to say, I think I might prefer this to the lights we have outside the garage here, outside of the palm tree, which might be some of my favorite Christmas lights I've ever seen.
Yeah, the palm tree outside is quite the spectacle. At least it keeps all the aircraft safe, and everyone knows where we are. That's for sure.
It's a good thing you put it on the palm leaves as well. So you covered your bases there.
A little something for everyone there. I'll take a picture. I'll make sure to submit it. I shared it last year, but I'll make sure to share it again. This is where Dan was talking about. If you go to Christmas lights, so you go to the main part of the website. Up here, right next to Panhandle Weather, it says Christmas lights. You could go in there. You see one of the cooler light displays over on Bryn Drive in Panama City Beach. That is our friend Bill Porter.
Is that a snow machine?
What?
Is that a snow machine?
It's a snow machine, which is absolutely fantastic. And you might see some familiar faces in this year's display. Bill's still working on it. That was a picture from last year. Of course, Joseph Mandeville, he's big into the Halloween stuff, so he goes a little ghoulish on his lights as well. But all you have to do, we want to thank Danny Riles Real Estate, Coconut Creek Family Fun Park. Thank you so much for sponsoring this. And this is the best part here. We have an interactive map where we put the light displays every year across Northwest Florida. And if you click that little banner right there, we could go through and you could turn on every single year going back to, I think it let me keep 10 years.
Yep.
So 10 years is my limit. But anyway, point being, there are a lot of light displays going back. And so for some reason you wanted to look at all of them over the past 10 years, there they are. For you to check out. But it's my favorite time of year. I thank you all for sending in the pictures and videos. If you want to submit your pictures, you can do them through the app, but you can also, Dan made this fancy little thing here, which allows you to submit your pictures and videos right through the website, put your name and your location, and then upload your Christmas light pictures. And that's another way you can do it right there on the website.
That's fantastic stuff. It's the best time of year. Christmas music might even make an appearance on the
Yes,
channel.
we were working on that today. Well, I wasn't working. I was just like, yeah, sounds great. Dan was working. We've got Christmas music coming up.
Yeah, so you'll see that this Friday, but in just a couple of minutes, you'll also see the forecast for showers and thunderstorms Tuesday night into Wednesday. Some cooler weather, Chris, for Thanksgiving coming too. And looks like we got some questions to answer here over the next few minutes as well. So all of that right after this.
Nice.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Now is a great time for a new Toyota, where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash. Visit our lot or browse online at Panama City Toyota.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
Hey, and good evening. I wanted to talk about air travel or just travel in general. I'm happy to say across our area from Tallahassee through Panama City over to Pensacola, VPS, all looking pretty good across our region. As we look out over across parts of Texas, you can see we have a ground stop right now at one of the airports, and then that's No. The Love is Dallas. So I was talking about Houston. That is IAH. Which one's Hobby? I'm trying to remember which one's which. But anyway, they have a ground stop there. Probably will have one over at Houston as well because of this line of showers and thunderstorms. But as a whole, despite the wet weather, things are okay up into Kansas City, St. Louis, up into Orchard, up into Chicago, O'Hare, and Midway, okay. And then where we have a lot of problems, usually everything actually okay from Newark through Philly down through Washington. And even into Atlanta and Charlotte's okay. So really the main problem we have is out over into Texas, where we have some delays over in Dallas and then over into Houston. When we talk about travel delays tomorrow across the country, we're going to be talking about, well, the UP of, well, not quite the UP of Michigan, but the northern parts of Minnesota up into Canada. And then you see it stretching down through parts of the eastern, we'll say the eastern third of the country. So that's for your Tuesday. But notice by Wednesday, that begins to shift farther to the east. And as we head into Thanksgiving, it's actually fairly quiet with the exception of the northern tier of the country where we could see a few weather delays. So over the next 24 hours, we could see some issues. Well, actually be a bit closer to 48 hours across the eastern third of the country. So just something to kind of keep in mind when it comes to air travel. Here's a live look outside right now over at Panama City Beach. Got some folks out there this evening doing a little bit of walking on the beach. And we got a few folks. Oh, look, there we go. We got the maze there over at Coconut Creek.
Go right.
I know. Look.
No, go left.
Yeah. But awesome. We'll keep an eye on him. He looks a little shady with his golf game. Meanwhile, over in Grand Lagoon, Lagoon Pontoon, looking good there. And there's the bridge over the lagoon there this evening. And then Panama City Beach, we got the setting moon up there at the top of the screen, and you see the moonlight cascading out over across the waters of the Gulf this evening. For more on what's happening, the timing of the showers and thunderstorms, let's go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, of course, a whole lot to talk about this week after last week where we really had almost nothing to talk about in the weather world. It's funny how that works, especially when we get close to holidays. It seems like the weather has a way of playing some tricks on us. Some questions about the rain potentially improving drought conditions. I would say it is probably not all that likely that we'll get enough to really move away from the currently very dry conditions. At the very least, maybe we could scrounge up a half an inch or 3/4 of an inch, and we'll see if that's enough for some of the counties to drop burn bans. I believe Bay County right now has one as of earlier this afternoon. For us, mostly cloudy conditions continuing to slide through for Tuesday. Wednesday morning could start off with not only showers and thunderstorms, just a small and brief severe weather threat. Not everybody's going to see it, but the atmosphere is becoming a little more prone to producing some strong thunderstorms, so we will have to watch it as we go to bed tomorrow evening. For Thanksgiving, sunny conditions return. That's behind the cold front that's bringing showers and thunderstorms across the central part of the country. But notice behind this, it's not just clear. You'll find eventually cooler weather filtering down too. A pair of fronts, the second one not really a big rain producer at all, but at least a reinforcing shot of cold air that'll really help us to find some comfort to wrap up this week. Look back west right now across parts of Texas and even streaming up through now Mississippi, some stronger storms as well. You got a whole lot of lightning down there. Tornado watch continuing this evening. And again, some strong storms kind of feeding through this band of moisture. Your storm track a little bit further towards the north right now. At least that's where the upper level support and better energy for strong thunderstorms are. All of that, though, starts shifting east as we head towards tomorrow evening. You've got this big continuous surge of southerly winds for us here, and that's what's kept it so humid throughout the day for today. Tomorrow evening could even start to bring just a couple of small light showers, little popcorn cells there on the radar, and eventually we'll see more of a broken line of storms back closer to this cold front, try to push through during the overnight hours. So that'll be something to keep in mind as you go to bed tomorrow night. Even tomorrow afternoon, we'll see back towards the north and west a severe weather threat continuing, a marginal risk close to home north of 65, a slight risk for severe weather, a little bit better coverage of storms expected, and a few of those, of course, could be strong. For us, it's not a whole lot to get excited about here as far as the potential. You've got a brief hail threat out there, about a 5% chance within 25 miles of any point in the shaded area. The tornado threat a little bit lower, but again, we'll have to watch for maybe a few brief spinners off the Gulf. And then for the wind threat, probably the main thing I'd expect to see from any of these storms, that happening as that line starts to pull together and push through across the Panhandle. Chris is smiling over there. What's going on?
I just heard the family come home.
The garage door.
Outside. Let's see if they remember.
The garage door could open any now. It's going to happen one day.
Oh, well.
Either way, we'll continue to watch for cloud coverage to fill in here across the area. This is Tuesday morning. You see that continuous south motion here, and that's really going to have the stickiness out there. Maybe if it's windy enough, though, at least towards coastal spots, you won't see as much fog, so a little bit of a reprieve there, although inland areas, we're certainly still honing in the potential of seeing some of that. And then here you see a couple of these small little dots starting to appear tomorrow evening. So that's that first batch of little cells starting to take advantage of the increasing lift and, of course, the increase in moisture out there as well. Our in-house model, though, doing a pretty poor job of pulling this line of storms together. This would be a pretty good outcome for those who obviously want to sleep carefully tomorrow night, or at least sleep with no worries. But we do need the rainfall, and if our in-house model were to hit on this, well, looks like we're not going to get much. Now, fortunately, most other modeling showing a little bit more activity there on the radar for us as we get through the overnight hours tomorrow, starting potentially back in the western Panhandle as early as midnight. Big spread, though, as far as when that storm system could arrive. Probably a 3-hour window between midnight and 3 a.m. for that to start pushing through the area. And then you'll see here, we could be dealing with it down towards the southeastern corner of our viewing area all the way until sunrise tomorrow. Rain totals, though, like we've been stressing, not a whole lot to write home about for us here. A couple of thunderstorms could produce rain totals closer to a half an inch. For most of us, though, a 1/4 of an inch, maybe even just a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall probably not going to be enough for us to see significant changes. Now, another thing for us to keep in mind, Chris, it could get just a little bit more breezy as this front approaches.
Yeah.
I think, though, for Thanksgiving, the opposite could happen, breezy and cooler conditions, and things will feel much differently as we wrap up the week.
Yeah, I think we'll see that. You'll notice the winds are going to really pick up tomorrow. Nothing crazy, but we'll be in that 10 to 15 mile an hour range as we move through your Tuesday. So this is 10 o'clock in the morning, pretty breezy. Those winds do die down a little bit by the evening, but you notice they turn a little bit more southwesterly across our region. And then as we move through Tuesday night and into Wednesday, we'll see those winds begin to shift more out of the southwest and start to turn more out of the eventually they're going to get more west and northwest. So right there you see the wind change. This is Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. The front's already through. The showers and thunderstorms will be pushing east, and that's going to be that drier air mass that begins to filter in, and it will stay breezy throughout the day on Wednesday. But this is all going to bring in this drier air mass that you're going to notice as we head into Thursday, Black Friday, and on into Saturday across our region. So temperatures for tonight, air wide, even for the beaches. Then as we head through the overnight hours, we'll see that patchy dense fog develop across our area. Keep that in mind to Funiac Springs through Bonifay, Vernon. I don't think it'll be widespread because of the cloud cover we have. Won't allow for ideal radiational cooling for fog to develop, but there will be some fog around for your Tuesday morning. High temperatures for Tuesday, tomorrow, 70s to near 80 degrees. Wednesday morning, still holding on to 60s. The dry air isn't here yet, but watch what happens Wednesday during the day, 70s. So it's 70s area wide, no 80s. That's because that air mass is now drying out, and we're starting to see the leading edge of that cooler air across our region. So here's your big trough of low pressure. This swings through as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, and that's what's going to give us this cooler air mass. Looking out to the west, you see we have another trough of low pressure digging out across the western United States, and throughout the weekend, we'll keep kind of more of a zonal flow. We'll see some sun clouds. It won't get too terribly warm, though. Probably keep temperatures into the 70s. You'll see the rainfall chances returning next week, Sunday into Monday. And I think we have some better rain chances maybe in the forecast for next week, a little bit more unsettled, giving us some hope. So over the next 7 days, we're still on the fringe here, but at least we're getting up into the green, which is like a ½ inch to an inch to 2 inches of rainfall. Meanwhile, the good stuff is out here to the west, but at least I think with a ½ inch tomorrow night, then we have the potential to add another ½ inch to maybe 1 inch of rainfall possibly as we move through the rest of next week. And that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday kind of time frame. 3810K over in Rosemary Beach. That's it on Thursday morning. 50, sunny. Very nice conditions for that. Good for running. Thanksgiving forecast as a whole. Mid-60s is all we're going to be able to do, but lots of sunshine. Certainly time to maybe enjoy a little bit of time outside. Frying the turkey outside, certainly perfect weather for that. Black Friday shopping forecast. We'll see an increase in clouds. Temperatures will be mainly into that 60-degree range, so still on the cool side expected as we head into Black Friday after that cold start to the day. And you'll notice with our high temperatures Thursday and Friday, again, barely right around 60 degrees, but then the warm-up begins Saturday in through Sunday and Monday. We get up back into the 70s. Your low temperatures will be pretty chilly. Not quite freezing, but not far from it for my inland friends. And then about 40 along the coastline is your coldest morning on Friday. And then we see the warm up as we move through the weekend. So that 7-day forecast, mostly cloudy skies expected for Tuesday. Showers and thunderstorms most likely. You see it says Wednesday, but honestly, it's before you wake up Wednesday. And then we'll see dry weather for pretty much all day Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we introduce some low-end rain chances as we head into Sunday and Monday of next week. And I think that's when the pattern flips a little bit and we start to see maybe a little bit unsettled weather as we head into next week and give us a little bit better chance for some beneficial rainfall, because I think what we see tomorrow night, Dan, is not going to be anything to get overly excited about.
Yeah, you watch the last 4 or 5 evolutions of the models, both the high-resolution model and the in-house models from us. There will be winners and losers in all sorts of different departments. Some folks will see very little rainfall and be really hoping to get a better shot heading into the weekend. Other folks could see a thunderstorm and, surprisingly, in just a short o'clock onwards might be
Yep.
a good time right now. We'll see what happens. Something else I just noticed that's interesting happening on our weather app. Just the interesting way that our forecasts work versus the weather app forecast. Low temperature on there says Wednesday at 44 degrees. So Wednesday is going to be a real interesting day with that front fully passing through and a whole day's worth of northwesterly winds. The low temperature in the morning on Wednesday could still be pretty comfortable, but as the day goes on and temperatures really start to tumble through the afternoon, 11:59 p.m. will probably be the low temperature for Wednesday, that in the 40s as we work our way down into the 30s for inland locations at least, heading into Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, so this would be, let's see, we'll pull up the forecast here, and we could go by Tuesday. And then, yeah, so you see when you wake up Wednesday morning, we're still looking at upper 60s to near 70. And then when you go through that evening, we're dropping through the 60s. The hourly at that point doesn't go all the way out through midnight. It goes to 62 degrees. But as you look out over for that Wednesday night, you'll see that low 46 degrees right there. So that's in the old Panhandle Weather app.
Easy to get confused this time of year because fronts don't always pass through at the most convenient time. Got the mic situation sorted out. I think we briefly hit on the fact that burn ban probably sticks around until the weekend, and then we'll see what happens after that. Headed to Perdido Key Wednesday to Sunday, probably going to be okay. I think we're going to get all that weather out of the way pretty early in the day on Wednesday, like Chris talked about. So you, my friend, are going to enjoy a pretty nice time there. Just a little cool.
Sunday could be, the next chance of rain over there in Perdido Key. There may be a little bit of cloud cover as we head into Friday and Saturday that you might have. And it'll be cool for sure. I mean, it's going to be about 60, but Saturday should warm up a decent amount. We'll, what do we have Saturday? So mid 60s, and we're into the 70s by Sunday, but there's that chance of some rain. So it'll definitely be on the cool side, but it's good enough for a beach walk. Maybe not a beach swim.
Yeah, that Sunday, Monday rain chance, there's a very good chance that is overnight because it seems like all of our rain is overnight.
Yes.
Since we launched Panhandle Weather, I don't think we've tracked storms outside of the overnight time frame. I think the latest we talked about storms was 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's just
Ken brought up something about the burn ban. Bay County issued a burn ban in the unincorporated parts of Bay County until further notice. If the rain tomorrow night isn't going to do anything to change that, it's going to take something a little bit more, little bit bigger to get that thing lifted. Sharon, she's Greenwood. Thank you very much, Greenwood. And yes, we're still doing Chris Smith's lights. So make sure to send in your pictures and videos, and we'll be sure to share them. And thanks again to Danny Riles and Coconut Creek for sponsoring that for us.
Yep. So we'll continue to work on things here, Chris. Obviously, tomorrow night could be a night with little sleep for us, but we'll try to give you the updates so that you can go to bed as soon as possible. Obviously, a pretty small chance of strong storms, but anytime there's a chance now, we have committed ourselves to covering it start to finish. So a lot of weather coming for us here over the next 48 hours, but even this was a pretty long stretch of weather tonight, Chris, almost 30 minutes of coverage.
Of course, it always is.
We always carry on.
Thank you all very, very much for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful evening. We've got a whole new slew of updates here on the channel, about ready to drop in just a moment. And we'll work on some more Christmas music that will launch on Friday on the channel. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow night for Panhandle Weather Live.